Hi, my name is Dr. John Douillard, and I'd like to talk to you about the difference between whole herbs and standardized extracts. I was driving to work recently and I was listening to a radio advertisement where they were advertising a new prostate formula that was 1,000 times more potent than what you might get at a natural food store. 1,000 times more potent than what nature would naturally produce. How can this be good for us? But we are so duped by these marketing campaigns that 1,000 times stronger must be 1,000 times better. Well, it's not. These are herbs called standardized extracts. In the 1970s, in an effort to mimic Western medications, to patent herbs, to get a market share on this growing industry of herbalism, the standardized extract was born, where we would potentize an herb and really make it into a drug, where it would have side effects and have drug interactions and actually become a more dangerous, maybe more potent, but more dangerous and complicated product to use. Standardized extracts are when you take one of the active ingredients of an herb, take it out, concentrate it in a potent form, and then stick it back in the herb, and now we take that herbal formula with a super potentized dose of one constituent. That one constituent may or may not be the most active constituent. One of the flaws with these standardized extracts is that they're not really sure which is the active ingredient, which is the active chemical, or the most potent constituent. So they kind of guess, and they take one out, concentrate it at sometimes extremely high doses to make them really potent, and stick it back in the herb and make a drug-like product that is extremely potent, makes people feel quite different, but runs the risk of dangerous side effects. Western drugs, we all know, have side effects. They are required by law to list their side effects into package inserts on TV. We've all heard the litany of the horrendous side effects as the couple rides off into the sunset, but we do hear the side effects listed. It's required by law. Herbs are not governed in the same way. Whole herbs, full spectrum herbs, herbs that have the synergy of all the chemicals in one plant, the way God made it, is a much safer way to take herbal medicine, because you have the complete intelligence of the herb rather than taking one chemical out and then concentrating that and giving that as a more potent form of the same herb. It is not the same herb any longer. It has become a drug, and we don't have to list the side effects of those herbal standardized extracts. And that's where we run the risk, and that's why I want to share this with you, so you realize when you go to the health food store and you see a standardized extract, we don't know for sure if there's going to be side effects, particularly the ones that claim energizing formulas, boosting energy, stay up all night formulas, sedative formulas, weight loss formulas. All these ones are scary, and please avoid them. Most of the products in the health food store are safe, but they're not all safe. The safest way to go is to get the whole herb. The herb, the plant ground up. These herbs are typically have been used for thousands upon thousands of years in traditional medicines as foods, as spices, as natural medicines. They have limited, or if any, drug interactions or toxicity because they're basically the whole synergy of the entire plant. It's the safest way to go. It's what I use in my practice at LifeSpa. All the LifeSpa herbs are full spectrum herbs, ethically wildcrafted, basically means picked from the garden in nature, replanted when necessary, and oftentimes organic, the best that we can. The whole point of these herbs is that they're full spectrum. They don't build a tolerance. Standardized extracts, like drugs, if you take it for a while, you'll feel fantastic, but the body recognizes it as something foreign, and the body will build a tolerance to it. And when you build a tolerance, you'll start needing to take more and more of it, and you begin to brew side effects as a result of it. Many herbs have been sentenced toxic by the FDA because of the host of complaints they've had about these concentrated, standardized extracts. Like I said, I want to be clear, they can be safe when used by a trained physician or someone who knows the herb or knows the consistency and the concentration of that extract, but that is not always listed or understood by the consumer. So it's difficult for us to know which herbs are safe and which herbs are not. So to be on the safe side, always choose the whole herb, the full spectrum herb versus a standardized extract. So when you take these concentrated herbs, for example, kava kava is an herb that's been used for thousands of years in Oceania for mood support and mood control. Has no side effects for thousands of years. Everyone had no problems whatsoever. They made a standardized extract using one of the constituents of that herb called the kava lactones, and they concentrated it at a high potent source to make it the next greatest, latest, best-selling mood support herb, and they concentrated it too high, and it created liver toxicity. And this is why many of the herbs, when God makes these plants, only concentrates the kava lactones in a very small way, because it knows that too much of this particular chemical will actually become a toxic product. But we don't really know that. We concentrate at high doses, people feel mood stable, but it creates liver toxicity, and thus kava kava has been taken off the market by the FDA. Another herb, ephedra. Ephedra has been an herb used for asthma and allergies for years and years and years, but it's a stimulant, and it had caught on as the next latest, greatest weight loss drug. And they created standardized extracts where they potentize the active ingredient, the ephedrine, which actually stimulates the body to lose weight, and it became the greatest and the latest weight loss herb. And there were over 1,400 complaints to the FDA from this concentrated, standardized extract of the ephedra. Not one complaint was made from the whole herb ephedra. All 1,400 were from the standardized extracts of the ephedra. And as a result, this wonderful herb ephedra that has been used for thousands of years for respiratory conditions is now gone. It is now taken off the market by the FDA because of these standardized extracts. So please be aware. You know, many times these standardized extracts use the wrong constituents. Like I said, St. John's wort, for example, is an herb that we use for supporting